Pisces, the drowned in illusion. Wen Qi studio was always shrouded in a damp, briny air. Her fingertips were stained with oil paint, as if every inch of her skin seeped with the scent of the sea. The psychiatrist said she had two personalities, one gentle as ripples under the moon, the other a shadow swimming in the abyss. But Wen Qi knew her world was far more complicated than any diagnosis. Every full moon she would carefully apply a special fixative to her canvases. Without it, her paintings would ooze tiny beads of water in the night, dripping into puddles of dampness on the floor. Under her brush, nebulae intertwined with waves, dreams fused with reality. But on the night she created, sea of stellar eclipse, everything changed. That night, cold moonlight poured into the studio. Wen Qi was painting the sea in deep blue and silver when suddenly, a constellation of stars appeared on the canvas by itself. Pisces. She stared in a daze, her finger unconscious lie, touching the still wet paint. A chill, wet sensation spread from her fingertip, as if she had touched real seawater. In the next instant, the entire studio shook violently. Water surged from the canvas, flooding the floor, the easel, even thickening the air. Wen Qi struggled to breathe, only to realize she was now adrift in a boundless starry sea. The paint dissolved into luminous jellyfish, their tendrils eclipsing the stars as they reached to devour her consciousness. She tried to scream, but only bubbles escaped her lips. Just then the palette trembled violently, and an ancient dressing mirror rose from it, its frame carved with Aphrodite's motifs. In the mirror two Wen Qis appeared, one fighting in reality, the other battling jellyfish. In the mirrored abyss, she understood. Only by letting both selves fight at once could she escape this hallucination. The Wen Qi outside the mirror wielded her brush, paint swirling into nebulae that scattered the jellyfish. The Wen Qi inside fought barehanded, tearing at nets woven from memory and fear. The straitjacket's white fabric floated in the water, its surface morphing into fishing net patterns that bound her tightly. On the edge of life and death, the two personalities collided and merged. Pain, fear, gentleness, resolve. All emotions converged in the starry sea, finally bursting into a dazzling light. Wen Qi's body trembled violently, and in the depths of her pupils, two phantom fish appeared, swimming in endless pursuit of each other. The water slowly receded, and the studio returned to silence. Wen Qi collapsed to the floor, staring at the mirrors of illusion and reality in her hand. She knew she was no longer the old Wen Qi. Her soul now swam between illusion and reality, both artist and drowned one. The frame still hung on the wall, a window to the abyss. In the dead of night, Wen Qi would see another self in the mirror, smiling as she painted, sealing nebula and the sea forever within the canvas. Outside the window, the night was as deep as ink, stars reflected in her pupils, two phantom fish swimming in silence. Wen Qi whispered, "I am my own ocean."